Both FMGECs exchange data through a crosstalk bus and are synchronized. When both FMGECs crosstalk, they are in dual mode of operation. The FMGEC which drives the synchronization is called master. The master FMGEC is automatically determined by the engagement status of the autopilot flight director. If autopilot 1 is on, FMGEC 1 is master. If autopilot 2 is on, FMGEC 2 is master. If autopilot 1 plus 2 and/or flight director 1 plus 2 are on, FMGEC 1 is master. Here, FMGEC 1 is the master as autopilot 1 is on. The autothrust is driven by the master FMGEC. Note, when flight director 1 plus 2 are on, each FMGEC drives its flight director and FMA on its on-side PFD. If the crosstalk is lost between both FMGECs, each FMGEC operates independently. This mode of operation is called independent mode. The crew is advised by a message on the scratch pad, Independent Operation. Notice the amber IND light on each MCDU, which indicates that the on-side FM has detected an independent mode of operation. In independent mode, each FMGEC drives its own FG, autopilot flight director, its own EFIS, PFD-ND, and its own MCDU. The crew must make the same entries on each MCDU in order to have the same guidance orders for both autopilot FDs and the same information displayed on EFIS and on MCDU. When the crosstalk is recovered, the FMGECs revert automatically to dual mode. Let us review the failure of one FMGEC, FMGEC 1, for example. Let's assume we are in flight and no previous faults have occurred. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. If autopilot 1 and autothrust were engaged, autoflight autopilot off and autothrust off are triggered on ECAM. Autopilot 1 and autothrust go off. Note, you can re-engage the autopilot on the healthy side, in our case, autopilot 2. If autothrust has disengaged, it can be re-engaged at the same time. Clear autoflight. Read the title of the failure. Notice the amber FM1 light on the MCDU, which indicates that the on-side FM has failed. As a consequence, as long as the FM source is not switched to the other FMGEC, ND1 displays Map Not Avail, red message, and MCDU1 displays the MCDU menu page. Note, when the time permits, a navigation backup function check may be implemented. We will review this later. The pilot flying will ask you to perform the ECAM actions. Select FM both on 2. Notice the amber message, Offside FM Control. It means that the displays of both NDs are controlled by the remaining FMGEC. This mode of operation is called single mode. In single mode, both FMAs display 2FD2, indicating that flight director bars on both PFDs are driven by FMGEC2. MCDU1 is now a copy of the other MCDU. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear autoflight. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear autoflight. The status page is displayed for review. We are now limited to Cat 3 single only. Notice the list of affected systems: Autopilot 1, FM1, Ground Proximity Warning System TER, and Cat 3 Dual. Autopilot 2, Flight Director 2 and Autothrust are available since FMGEC2 is working. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the status page. Notice the green memo message indicating the FM switching. ECAM action completed. One of those days. You are simply not lucky. We will now see the consequence of the loss of FM2, leading to the use of navigation backup. Let's assume we are in flight. FM1 is faulty. Click on the forward arrow to activate the failure. The amber engine thrust locked message is flashing on the engine warning display. It means that the thrust levers have to be manually adjusted. We will do this for you. Note, the thrust locked message will be explained in detail later on. Auto flight autopilot off and auto thrust off are triggered on ECAM. We will clear them for you. Read the title of the remaining failure. The pilot flying will ask you to perform the ECAM actions. Here, the action is to set the FM source back to normal. Note, the FM source selector must be set to normal to allow the display of the navigation backup prompts on the MCDU menu page. Perform ECAM actions. The navigation backup prompts have appeared on each MCDU menu page. Click on the forward arrow. Each pilot has now to select navigation backup on his MCDU. Select navigation backup on the left side. Notice the title of the MCDU page and the backup navigation indication at the bottom of the ND. Please engage navigation backup on the right side. Each MCDU and associated ND is driven by its on-side IRS. MCDU1, ND1 by IRS1, MCDU2, ND2 by IRS2. IRS3 is used in case of IRS1 or IRS2 failure. This is called navigation backup. When the FMGEC works properly, it continuously downloads the flight plan into its associated MCDU. In case of FM1+2 failure, the crew selects the navigation backup function, which includes simplified flight planning functions, aircraft position computation using the on-side IRS, flight plan automatic sequencing, limited lateral revisions. In those cases where Autopilot Flight Director are still available, managed modes cannot be engaged. Let's come back to the ECAM actions associated to the FM1+2 failure. Each pilot has to set his own RMP to navigation in order to tune the required nav aids. Indeed, the auto-tune and MCDU manual tune function are lost. This scenario will be reviewed several times in the simulator. Consequently, the rest of the procedure will be then analyzed. We will go directly to the status page. The status page is displayed for review. A green message MCDU Backup Nav Avail confirms the availability of the MCDU navigation backup. Note, as DH indication is lost, ILS approach may only be a Cat 1 approach. Notice the list of inoperative systems. Enhanced Ground Proximity Warning System and both FMs are lost. Autopilot 1 or 2 and autothrust might be available if the FG parts of the FMGEC are not lost. If the two FGs are available, engage the autopilot on side of the IRS, which is assumed to be the best. Remember that navigation mode is not available. This is the reason why it is advisable to select the bird on. After review and confirmation from the pilot flying, clear the status page. ECAM action completed. For use of the navigation backup, please refer to the navigation chapter. Have fun with the next abnormal operation.